Hello everyone, I am Dr. Arun Sharma. In this video, I will explain about emission spectrum and absorption spectrum. First of all, we will discuss about emission and absorption. An atom changes from a ground state to an excited state by taking on energy from its surrounding is a process called absorption. The electron absorbs the energy and jumps to a higher energy level, that is the excited state. In the reverse process, emission, the electron returns to the ground state by releasing the extra energy which it has absorbed. An electron in an excited state can release energy and fall to a lower state, that is called the ground state. When it does, the electron releases a photon of electromagnetic energy. When the electron returns to the ground state, it can no longer releases energy but can absorb quanta of energy and move up to the excited states, that is called higher orbitals. So what is the ground state and the excited states? Here I will clear these terms also. The lowest possible energy level that the atom can occupy is called the ground state. This is the energy state that would be considered normal for the atom. An excited state is an energy level of an atom, ion, or molecule in which an electron is at a higher energy level than its ground state. So this is the difference between the excited state and the ground state. Ground state energy is lower than as compared to the excited states. So the energy for the excited states is high and the energy of the ground state is less. So when the photon energy is absorbed, when the atom is present at the ground state, after absorption of this energy, it will go from the ground state to the excited state. And in the reverse process, the atom which are present in the excited state emits energy or emits the electromagnetic radiation or photon and comes to the ground state. So this is the process of absorption and emission, which are just reverse to each other, or we can say that these processes are just opposite to each other. Now what is emission spectrum? The spectrum of radiation emitted by a substance that has absorbed energy is called an emission spectrum. Atoms, molecules, or ions that have absorbed radiation are said to be excited. So an absorption spectrum is just like the photographic negative of an emission spectrum. Absorption spectrum is a spectrum of electromagnetic radiation transmitted through a substance showing dark lines or bands due to absorption at specific wavelengths is called an absorption spectrum. So this is the image of the absorption spectrum and emission spectrum. As I told that an absorption spectrum is just like the photographic negative of the emission spectrum. So in the case of absorption spectrum, dark black color bands are observed. In case of emission spectrum, bright color lines are observed at the same position. So what is the basic difference between the absorption and emission? Emission spectrum is obtained when the radiation from the source are directly analyzed in the spectroscope. So in case of emission, the sample or the source is automatically excited, the sample is automatically excited, and when they comes from the excited state to the ground state, we have observed the emission spectrum. That in this case we get the bright colored lines that are separated by the black dark bands. In case of absorption spectrum is obtained when the white light is first passed through the sample or substance and the transmitted light is analyzed in the spectroscope. The absorption spectrum consists of dark lines in the otherwise continuous spectrum. So here, from the white light or from the radiation where the absorption takes place, like at which the atom jumps from the ground state to the excited state, at that position black color bands are observed because it absorbs the energy from that particular radiation, and we have get the black color bands that in between the colored spectrum. So this is the colored spectrum in which we get the black color lines in case of the absorption spectrum. Please subscribe this channel for more videos. If you have any questions, please contact to me. Thank you very much.